Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place with AI and a clever spin. Join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.
Hello there, and welcome to the show. Of course, I'm your host, Bill McIntosh. And I keep thinking we're going to replace that old guy for my show intro. We never quite get around to it. He's kind of a blast from the past, one of the original AI avatars from, I think we made him almost a year and a half ago. So we'll have to get a new, fresh, updated AI avatar. But welcome and a big hello. I see a bunch of you out in the chat. So do me a favor, give me a big warm hello and let me know where in the world are you. And producer Nick, can you do some shout outs for me and let me know who is with us today and where they're from?
Yeah. All right. So we have got Dan Rose. He says he's out here. We got Sarge, Marcus, Pro Se Litigants, A.T. Ward from KY. Is KY Kentucky?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. A.T. Ward from Kentucky. Jimmy's in here. Tammy Porter, Robert Stone, Sarge. He's in Sarge is from Naples, Florida. Oh, Stefan from the Netherlands. We've got an international audience today. Welcome, Stefan. Now we've got M. Foss from Milwaukee. Robert's coming in from Mexico. Pro Se Litigants is checking in from Missouri. We've got Jimmy. We've got a veteran of the show, DE Production, coming in from California.
All right. The joys of having to sneeze while on live broadcasts. I tried my best to hold on to it and suppress it down. It didn't work. But welcome, everybody. And, of course, this show is all about online entrepreneurship, especially focused around AI. And we talk heavily about how to use AI to not just market and sell and grow a business, but even if you want to start a brand new one. Maybe you're someone who is starting your first ever business online. So we cover that in detail here about how to start, grow, and scale your business. And of course, I'm taking my past 25 years of experience of doing that myself. So I have been successfully building internet businesses online for over 25 years. And across all the different companies I've had online, we've generated over $100 million in results, which is a pretty cool track record. But I say that because I want to make sure you understand why I'm qualified to be here talking to you about this and why the information that I share on sessions like this is worth listening to. So I take my $100 million in hard-won experience and I use it to help you. And, it's going now over 10 years ago when I had kind of a moment in life when I was doing some soul searching. I had a lot of different businesses and a lot of different niche markets, anything from selling consumer software to helping people get money from the government to helping people get jobs, selling various kinds of courses and digital products. And I was doing some soul searching and I realized that I really want to help entrepreneurs, which is you. And you guys you're my people. I love entrepreneurs. We think differently. We act differently. We tend to be the force that drives our culture and our societies forward, and certainly the economies. And I want to do my best to help my fellow entrepreneur. And so I've been doing that now for over 10 years. And now I sell business software, tools, and I provide education to help entrepreneurs like you build and scale and grow their businesses. So that's what this show is all about. And today we're going to be diving in, covering a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is high ticket sales. That means selling stuff that costs $1,000 or more dollars. Could be really expensive high ticket stuff, but it generally means about $1,000 price point or more. And I think especially a lot of newer entrepreneurs, that freaks them out, because how do they come up with something that's valuable enough, worthwhile enough that someone will pay $1,000 and be happy about it, right? Or maybe even as much as $5,000, even $10,000 and be happy about it. And especially if you don't have a lot of experience creating products like that, you might be a little bit worried about it. Well, today you can put your mind at ease because I'm going to show you how to use AI to do just that. It's going to help you. The training I'm going to give you today on this broadcast will help you feel like you can create a product using AI and some other tools that is worth $1,000 or more. And you could be confident and happy and, in fact, proud to sell that product, even if you have never made a product like that before in your life. So that is the goal of my training today. So we're going to walk through how you assemble an offer, a bundle of products that get somebody a specific result that is incredibly valuable that you can sell and make high ticket money. Now, one of the things I want to tell we got a bunch of my customers here. So I can see in the chat, there's a bunch of you that are either you own Push Button AI or you own Commission Engine, which, by the way, shout outs. Who's a Push Button AI or Commission Engine owner? Give me a shout out in the chat if you're one of those. But I see a bunch of you out there, so I know you're out there. And what I'd like to know is, any of you ever thought about taking what you build with Push Button AI? Maybe you've made a low ticket course using our site building and business building tools, and you're selling a product that maybe is a lower ticket price point, but you would love to have a high ticket back end, right? That's what they'll call it, your back end product, where you get people in the door selling a lower ticket product, but where the real money is made is in selling that high ticket product. And so today I'm going to show you a little strategy that can help you guys out. So if you're in Push Button AI, you're in Commission Engine, and you've thought about wanting to add on some kind of high ticket product to make a lot more money, you're going to love today's training. And then, of course, if you're not a Push Button AI customer, I'm not sure why. Maybe you haven't heard about it yet, but also I'll plug that real quick. So we do have a webinar coming up. It's tomorrow night. We have a webinar where we're going to go through and do some demos and show the Push Button AI system, which is a business building tool set. So with just 2 clicks and filling out 2 forms, you can build an entire business. AI builds the whole thing, bottom to top. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can build your own business hands-free with AI, then go register for that training. Producer Nick, can you pop into the chat and give everybody the link to that? I think
I'm ahead of you.
Thank you for that. Push Button AI /profit. Let me pin that because that is the promotion for today. We will be live with that. We have a training where my team and I will be in the chat live with you, helping you go through the presentation. So we have a presentation that'll be running. We'll be live in the chat there, helping you out, learning all about it. But if you'd like to check out Push Button AI, or maybe you didn't make it in, you wanted to buy in the past and you missed your shot, that's you'll have a chance tomorrow night. And again, that's Push Button AI. Pushbutton.ai /profit is where you go for that. Pushbutton.ai /profit. Again, the link is now pinned in the chat. So go register for that and check it out if you're not already part of it. And what that tool is going to help you do is it will build the entire business, your shopping cart. It'll pick your domain name, build you a logo, set up your whole site, and help you build a low ticket product. And then you can take the training from today to add to it to have your very own high ticket product. And the two go perfectly together. So today's training is like a way to supercharge what you get with Push Button AI. So that is our agenda for the day. And by the way, Nick, who here owns Push Button? I didn't get a chance to watch the chat. How many Push Button owners do we have out there?
Dan, Marcus, Stefan, Robert, Bob, DE Productions, Pro Se Litigants. And I think there were some people earlier in the chat who mentioned owning some of our products.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome everybody. Glad we got a bunch of our customers here. So that's awesome to see. And everyone else, if you're not yet an owner, definitely go register and go check out that webinar. I'll show you a whole method. It explains a very specific business type, a business model that is perfect for being built with AI. And it goes over why it's valuable, why you should do it. We do some demos and show you how the tool will build your business for you. And then you'll have an opportunity. You'll be invited in to be able to join our early access program. So that all happens tomorrow night, at least at the time that we're live here today. Awesome. I want to see a few more people chiming in as well. So good to see that. And can you believe it? I am almost out of coffee. My trusty coffee provider did not refill me today. I've been running all around. Hopefully I can make it through the show. Those of you who are regulars, you guys know how much I chug my coffee as we do these shows. All right. I think we are good to go. Last little bit of housekeeping is if you would like to ask questions and chat with us and become part of our community here on the channel, all you need to do is tap the red subscribe button that you see down below. That does unlock the chat panel so that you can chat with us. We're going to be doing open Q&A a little bit later. So I'm going to deliver my training in just a moment, and then we're going to open it up and you guys can ask questions about anything at all. So if you need help from me, maybe you want me to critique a website you've got, help you debug some issues you're having with getting traffic or whatever it might be, all subscribers are eligible to chat and ask questions and get help from me while we're here live. So make sure, again, you tap that red subscribe button. And then at any point during today's live broadcast, if you feel like you had a good time, you enjoyed hanging out with us, got some value, tap that thumbs up button as well. It really does help the YouTube algorithm so they spread the message far and wide, and we can get more people joining us on our live sessions. In fact, if you're feeling like you're happy to be here right now, just smash that thumbs up button that you see on the broadcast. And who knows, YouTube may show the live feed to people right now on YouTube and bring them in to come watch with us. And with that, I think I'm prepared. Let me get my teleprompter remote wherever I hid that from myself. There it is. And we are recording the training segment that we are about to do. And so we're recording this for my content team. They'll be editing it up and turning it into courses and social media content and shorts and all those kinds of things. So I am going to record it. So I'm going to power through the training. You might hear me do retakes or make notes for my editor. But don't worry, I am live and we're going to get back to the chat and answer all of your questions. And I'll make sure every single question gets answered before we wrap up for the day. Okay. Cool. I see Robert in there reminding everybody, like the video. I agree. So Nick, I think we're ready. Anything else we got to do? No? By the way, are you coming on camera when we do the training portion or no?
I can jump in. I'm audio only today, but I can jump in if you'd like. I set it up. I sent you a link in Discord to the chat, and I did the first step in the sequence.
Okay.
So technically, you could do the whole thing, but if you want, I can jump in.
Got it. Okay, so you can come in as a disembodied assistant.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, then with that, I'm going to go ahead and get things started here. And we'll kick it off. So I'm going to start out by recording what's called our hook, which is the first 30 seconds of any video training. You need a good, compelling hook to get people to want to continue watching your video. So they feel like they see your thumbnail, they see the title, and they want to feel like they're watching the right video. And that's called the hook or the intro, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to record that first, and then we'll dive into the training itself. So let me get back over here. And here we go. I've made over $100 million. Okay, hold on. Retake right out of the gate. Okay, here we go. I've made over $100 million in sales over the past 25 years, and over half of that comes from selling high ticket offers to people all over the internet. Now, high ticket means expensive. Typically, these are offers that are $1,000 or more. I've seen them $1,000, $5,000, 10,000, even way more than that. Because look, selling $19 ebooks and courses and low ticket products is great and everything, but the real money is made on what's called the back end. That is after people buy your first product, your first inexpensive low ticket product. It's what you do after that is what decides how much profit you make in your business. And so today we're going to dive into that on how you can add expensive high ticket products to your business to skyrocket your profits. And so in this very video, I'm going to show you how to create a high ticket offer in just 4 steps using a very special ChatGPT feature. Now we're going to use ChatGPT to do this whole thing, and it's going to go out and it will do hours worth of PhD level market research. It's like hiring literally a professor of marketing to come in and do your market research on your behalf. Then we're going to use the information that it finds to craft your very own high ticket offer, one that is so compelling that your market, your customers, they're going to feel stupid for saying no. And if you stick around to the end, by the way, we're going to take it a step further than that. Towards the end, I have a special bonus prompt that is going to let you successfully sell this offer to audiences that are 100% completely cold. So imagine taking somebody from they've never met you before, they don't know anything about your company, to them giving you thousands of dollars for the products that we're going to create using this technique. Now, people are already using this strategy to get rich. So it's such an unfair advantage. I can tell you from behind the scenes, I have a lot of friends, a lot of business associates selling high ticket products. And if you're not using this, you're just going to get lost in the dust. So are you ready? Well, let's dive in. Okay, there is the hook. How was that?
Excellent delivery. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Thank you for that. Okay, so now we will share the screen. At least I'm going to try to. Okay, I'm going to have to remove. I'm having trouble here trying to get this to go. Why is that?
It might be because, oh, looks like you got it, so never mind.
Yeah, now it worked. All right. Here we go. We're going to move on to the next part of the training. Now, today I've got a slide deck that you can see right there, and we're going to walk through step by step how you apply this. In this slide deck, I have resources, guides, links, the prompts, the what you need to say to the AI tools in order to get the results today. They're all included in that deck that you see right there. So if you'd like it, I'll give it to you for free. 100% totally free. You can get a copy of this deck. When we post this video training, we're going to put it into our free members area. We have a free newsletter called Ingeniosity. All you got to do is subscribe to that newsletter. And I'll drop into the comments below or into the description a link where you can quickly go and subscribe to that. It's 100% free. And then in our library in there, you'll be able to get this totally free. And not just this one. We have dozens of different playbooks just like this one with links, resources, prompts, and everything you need to implement the training that I give you here on the channel. It's all free. Again, just look for that link down below, go subscribe, and then this deck is yours to use along with this video. Okay, let's get into it. So we're talking about high ticket products. And especially we want to leverage AI to be able to, first of all, decide what kind of high ticket product we should make. What should be in our high ticket product? How should it be bundled? How should we offer it? How should we sell it? All of these things are going to be worked out with the AI tools and methods that we're going to cover in this video. And again, don't forget to stick around to the end because I'm going to show you a bonus prompt that's going to help you sell this high ticket product when you're done. So let's talk for a moment what makes a high ticket offer. And I'm going to go into presentation mode here and we'll go full screen. Now, somebody who you might have heard of before did a fantastic job of breaking down what makes an offer valuable. So, and what is an offer in the first place? So I'd like to clear this up really quickly about what an offer is and what makes an offer valuable enough to be high ticket. And so first off, when I talk about an offer. Generally, this is a bundle of things, right? So when I pitch somebody or sell something of $1,000 in value or more, very often it contains multiple things. There could be bonuses added to it. There could be a course along with some video training. There could be some live coaching be part of it. There could be software to be part of it. There could be guides and checklists and other kinds of trainings. And it's putting it all together and then presenting it as something as a package that's going to solve a unique problem or help someone achieve a goal. And that is what embodies a high ticket offer. And if you don't have something that's going to really appeal to the emotional side of your potential buyer, which I'm going to explain how you do that and throughout this presentation. So it's got to really appeal to the subconscious of your buyer, that they really are going to have a desire that practically compels them to want to buy it. So we're going to dive into how do you do that. And that's what an offer is. It is a collection of things that you then offer at a particular price, backed by some kind of a guarantee or some kind of reversal of risk. So whether you do a 30-day money-back guarantee, or you do a performance guarantee, or maybe you tell them if they use it, it's guaranteed to work, or whatever your risk reversal might be. But you can look at all that thing in a bundle, any bonuses, any components, any guarantee, any warranty, and that whole bundle is your offer. So notice, it's much different than just selling a single product. When you put together an offer properly, it is they convert like crazy, as opposed to just selling a particular product, selling a thing. Instead, you're selling an experience that solves a unique problem or helps someone achieve a unique goal. Make sense? So the other thing I want to talk about is, now that we have defined clearly what an offer is, let's talk about what makes it worth a high ticket price. Because today we're not talking about how do you fool someone into giving you a bunch of money. We need to actually provide the value to back it up, so that when someone does give you the money, they feel like they got what they were trying to buy from you and that they're happy about that purchase. Excuse me. Note for our editor, obviously you can edit out that sneeze. Okay, here we go. Because at the end of the day, no business can survive in the long term unless your customers are happy with the experience that they have with you. So how do we do this? Let's dive in, because we have Alex Hormozy is the person who kind of made this little formula famous here. And he did a great job of explaining what makes an offer valuable, so that a prospect is happy to buy it and happy to consume it and happy at the end. Okay. First, in your niche and in revolving around whatever you sell or whatever unique problems that you solve in your business, there's a dream outcome that your prospect has. And that dream outcome usually is a combination of problems that you have helped them solve, pain points you've helped them avoid, right? And you've helped them achieve some upbeat, positive goals of some type. And every market has this. I think some people have a difficulty understanding this. And today, as we go through the prompts, we're going to show you how this all works, and you'll see, you'll get a little bit better understanding of that. But when you help someone achieve a dream outcome at the end, which usually means solving a couple of different problems and helping them achieve some important goals for themselves, okay? And the closer you can get them to their dream outcome, the more valuable your high ticket product is. If you kind of get them partway there, well, then you still get an increase in value. And the closer you can get them to that ideal outcome, the more valuable your product is. Because I think a lot of people get hung up in the physical value of things. They're thinking in terms of you think about gold or silver or jewelry, where you're looking at it as a commodity of what is that thing worth. But when we're selling software, tools, trainings, courses, any kind of digital or information product, there is no physical value to that thing. The only value that you can apply to it is in the dream outcome at the end. The other thing, when they buy this product, if your bundle of products, the way you put your offer together, if they perceive that they have a likelihood of achieving success, and the stronger that belief is, the more valuable your product is. So if they feel like, okay, well, that information is great and everything, but I'm still going to have to do a whole bunch of this extra work, or it's going to cost me a whole bunch of extra money to get me to my dream outcome, then the value of your product goes down. So the closer you can get them to that dream outcome in a way that they perceive, they feel, not how you feel, but how they feel. If they feel like they can achieve it, then it's worth more. The other factor that goes into the value of a high-ticket product is how quickly can you get them at least close to that dream outcome. The faster you can get them to some kind of tangible result. It doesn't mean you have to solve the whole thing, right? Because let's say, for example, somebody is in personal development and they're trying to, get themselves into achieving a success mindset. Well, that might take months of practice and, consuming content and applying what they learn before they can really change their behavior and their patterns in life to where they can achieve success. Or weight loss is another great example, right? I mean, they still have to deal with the how a body works and the fact that we're all here in the physical universe and we got to deal with physics and chemistry and all that stuff, right? But the quicker you can get them to where they're beginning to experience a result, even if it's not the complete dream outcome, the more valuable your product is. And then it's the quicker you can get them to experiencing some kind of result, the more valuable it is. And then ultimately, the faster you can get them to the final dream outcome also adds even more value. Make sense? And then finally, in using what you're going to give them, whether, again, it could be software, could be tools, it could be trainings, courses, coaching, whatever, the more effort that they're going to have to put in themselves to achieve that dream outcome, and the more sacrifice that they're going to have to make, the less your product is worth. So again, the more you can ease and take away effort, and the more that you can take away sacrifice so they can get to that dream outcome, the more valuable your information product is. So the ultimately highest ticket, most valuable high ticket product would achieve all of these things. It would have a complete certainty to bring someone to their dream outcome. It would happen fast. It would take little effort and sacrifice. So, let's just imagine something for a moment. Imagine you had a diet program that in 7 days, someone could lose 100 pounds and be incredibly healthy and buff all at the same time, right? That would be incredibly valuable and people would throw money at you for it. I wish such a thing existed, but that's just a crazy example, okay? So the closer you can get to some audacious scenario like that, the more valuable your information, your training, your courses, tools, software, all that stuff becomes. All right, now let's move on. I think I've made this clear. So let's go on to what we have next. So step one, what we're going to do is we're going to use a feature in AI called deep research. And you've heard us talking a lot about this on the channel recently, but deep research is where a tool like ChatGPT from OpenAI goes out on the web and does extensive research, doing lots of searches, pulling down lots of different web pages, analyzing all of those results and using that to help you. Yeah, it's basically it really is like a PhD level researcher that you unleash to go out and find information for you, come back and give you a result. Right? Now, there are other forms of deep research tools. So if you're not currently using ChatGPT and you prefer to use, say, Google's Gemini tool, they also have deep research in that tool. So most of the big flagship AI chatbots have deep research, and you will need to use it in order to do this feature. And I think they're even rolling deep research into most of their free products as well. So like ChatGPT, I think you now can use deep research even at their free tier. All right, so let's get into what this prompt is. And again, if you want to download this deck that includes this prompt that you see on the screen here, then just go to the link in the description and in the chat and sign up to Ingeniosity. You'll be able to get this for free. Okay, so here is the prompt itself.
That's not the prompt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just OpenAI explaining what deep research is. Then if you scroll down, the prompt is in a code block.
Gotcha.
See the green?
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. Okay, cool. Then rewind this. Note to editor, clean that up. All right, so ChatGPT, we talked about its deep research and what it does, and we're going to be using what's called the O3 model is the best way to do this. So we use deep research with O3 is going to be the best way to do this. And as I said, it used to be $200, but now it is even available on the free level. You can do 5 deep research sessions per month. And here is the prompt. Act as a market researcher and offer creation expert who can turn raw, unstructured internet data into clear, actionable customer insights. It goes on to explain. So I'll just show this on the screen if you want to take a look at that. And there's a couple of things that we're going to need to fill in here. We have our market or niche, whichever you want to call it, your niche market that we're going to fill in here. And then the rest stays the same. And so I'm going to show you an example of running this prompt in just a moment. And again, this prompt is available for free when you download the deck at the link in the description. And then producer Nick, who's out there with us now, is there anything about this prompt that anybody needs to know about using it before I show it off?
Yeah, it's very simple. The only thing you're plugging in is the portion you're highlighting, and that's the market or the niche that you're addressing. And it works best when you plug it in as a group of people, right? So if you say the market I'm addressing, I set up a conversation where the example is people who are in their mid-career and they want to transition jobs. That's a group of people, right? Mm-hmm. That's different than saying something like the market I'm addressing is career. See, that's not a group of people. It works best when you position it that way. Because what
I would think like if you could describe it as almost like a combination of both, you know, that's like a classic example I use when I'm building courses where I show dog training, right? That's a course that I think anybody can relate to, pretty simple. So I do a lot of demos showing building dog training products and courses and stuff. So as an example here, I wouldn't put dog training. I might put the market I'm addressing is families who want to learn, who want to teach their dog to behave. All right? That might be a better way to phrase it, right?
Yeah, precisely.
All right, cool. So yeah, I think the ideal thing describes who the people are and what their dream outcome is too, as well. Like if you already know what the dream outcome that somebody might want after going through your course, you could say, I'm trying to serve this audience who's looking for this result.
Right.
Cool. And then I know you gave me an example of this prompt being used, so let me go dig it out, and I'm going to switch our thing to this format and come over here. So is it all the way at the top of this session? Oh, there we go.
So the chat I set up, it does the first 2 steps in this process.
Okay. So here's the prompt that we just covered. Okay, and there we go. So the market I'm addressing is professionals in midlife considering major career and life transitions. Great example of phrasing that there, and then he submits it. And you'll notice it asks a couple of follow-up questions. So you'll very often see that in your deep research session, it's going to come back and it's going to ask you a couple of follow-up questions, and you just answer them. You can see here there were 3 follow-up questions, which he answered. And these vary, by the way. So ChatGPT, depending upon who your market is and other factors, might change up what questions it asks. So there's no way to predict exactly what questions they're going to ask, but just do your best to answer them. And even if you say you don't know in the answer, that's okay too. So you could say, number 2, I don't know. And it's not going to mess you up. It'll still keep going and it will work fine. And then you can see here, it takes off and starts to do the research session. And so then it's going to come back. Here's the results that it comes back with. Now, this can take a few minutes, by the way. So once you fire off the deep research session, very often you can move on and go do something else while that session is running. So for you, Nick, how long typically, I know you've been using deep research a lot. How long typically does it take?
Yeah, it could take anywhere from probably 20 minutes on the low end, where I have had sessions with this exact prompt go up to an hour long. I think when I ran this exact conversation, I think it was something like 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, and I think people don't fully realize just how much research is being done during these sessions. And there's a reason that they take 20 minutes to an hour to run, because there is a lot being done. And it really is like hiring a professional, high-level researcher to do this work for you. All right, cool. And then, so here is an example of the output that it put out, which is giving us a bunch of really, really valuable information about how this market is feeling. And remember I said that the better job you do of solving people's problems and helping them avoid pain points and getting closer to their dream scenario, the more your product is worth. It's giving you all of those, right? Like here's an example of one that this target market is feeling lost despite having is feeling empty and lost despite having a stable life. They're regretting their life choices. They're overwhelmed by a sense of stagnation. They're feeling stuck in a dead-end career. Maybe they have no passion or progress in. So these are all examples of all the pain that they're trying to avoid, and all the frustrations that if you create a product that solves these, the more and more and more valuable that product becomes. And you can see it's extensive. Look at all of it's really dug into the emotional pain points and frustrations and feelings of regret. So this list goes on and on and on. A lot of information that was returned by the AI. Now, this would ordinarily be very overwhelming, right? I think if you, as a human, needed to go through all of those things and now figure out what you're going to do with it, that would be very challenging. So now we're going to move on and also use AI to go to the next step. So this valuable market research has now been done. We're now going to use it in another prompt I'm about to show you to now move on to starting with your product, coming up with ideas for your product. And by the way, as we go back to this, I just want to remind everyone that a bit later, I'm going to be giving you a bonus prompt, so definitely hang around. We're going to be giving you a bonus prompt that's going to help you sell this for the high ticket price that your product would command. And we'll cover that at the end of today's training. And by the way, I am curious for those who are out there watching, what market are you interested in? Do you have a particular market that you might be interested in, or maybe you don't know? Please drop a comment down below and let us know what market is it. Maybe you want to do a dog training guide, or you want to help new moms, or maybe you're already have a business. Maybe you're a chiropractor, want to do a high ticket product related to your business. Let us know, what is the market that you would love to make a high ticket product in, or just say, I don't know yet if you're not sure. Okay, now moving on to the prompts. So that was step 2. Now we're on step 2. This is the second prompt that we're going to be using that is included in the deck when you download it. And you can see here, thank you. So it's acknowledging the AI for giving us all of that great information. Now I need your help coming up with a lucrative offer that will help them with the pain points that you just uncovered. And it goes into a description of what they're going to do for you. And they're asking it to come up with a report that will help you come up with product ideas, basically. So let's take a look at how this comes out. So when you take this prompt, you literally just copy it out of the guide. You can just copy it and then go paste it into ChatGPT. And we're going to use that exact same chat window that we started in here. Okay, so you'll see it on the screen there now. We'll just go back to the same exact chat window, and then you can see here that he pasted in the exact prompt that you just saw. And by the way, if you ever find that your deep research sections glitch out, which you'll see an example in just a moment, you can just ask ChatGPT to continue. So like, hey, what happened? I didn't get my report. and then it will pick up where it left off and continue. So if it ever like freaks out and just breaks, just that's how you can get it back on track. And you'll see that Nick had to do that here. It just kind of stopped, and then he has what happened here. And then it said, it looks like I accidentally glitched. So then it continued on, and here's what we get. So this is awesome, and this is where the gold can be found. So you'll notice it's now giving us a variety of different kinds of products, and realize none of these are high ticket, although this one kind of is here, but most of these are not. Most of these are low ticket. There's $49, $17, $67, $97, $5.97, $37, but it's giving us tons of ideas for different kinds of products. These could be membership sites, courses, training, guides, ebooks, coaching experiences. I even saw an example of a retreat where you could go to a physical retreat. So they're going to give you all kinds of ideas of different kinds of low ticket products that you could sell to this marketplace. Each one of them is designed to address a particular pain point or help achieve a particular goal that market might have. And so now this is really where the gold comes in, is as we go into the next steps. We're going to take this list and we're going to use some tricks to turn it into a high ticket offer. So let's dive in deeper and I'll explain. So what we're going to do is we are going to mix and match all of those things, because here is the deal. You may have personal experience in your market, right? And you may be able to deliver coaching as an example, or maybe not. Maybe the idea of you delivering coaching to your customers, maybe it gives you anxiety, right? You don't want to talk to the customers. You don't want to deal with them. You just want them to log into your site and get paid, right? You don't want to talk to them. So this serves all different kinds of people. So when we're going to go through and we're going to mix and match from that list of product ideas, we're going to mix and match in a way that helps our prospects. Remember those 4 value propositions we went over. So what are the things that we can kind of choose to mix, match, and assemble a bundle of different low ticket products in a way that gets our target market close to their dream outcome as fast as possible with the least amount of effort and with the most amount of certainty that they can achieve the result. And you can generally take a bundle of these things and put them together, because we can think about what might be some of the thoughts and objections that somebody might have. They might think, well, I don't know anything about this subject, so can I really do it? They might think it's going to take too long. They might think that, maybe they need some outside help. So you're going to take your abilities and your skills, what you're able to do, along with what you think the target market is going to need and want to help them feel like they have a high likelihood of success of achieving their dream outcome. And you put the 2 of those together, and we're going to pick at least 4. I would say you want to grab at least 4 of the product ideas that we're going to see on the list. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a minute. And then we're going to assemble them together into one single thing, and that becomes our high ticket product. Now there's a bit more to this, so stick around. I'm going to keep explaining how that bundle comes together and how you charge and command your high ticket price. But that's the idea of how we're going to do this. So let's go back to the screen. And let's take a look. Let's go here. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's go over here. So in this little, and I'm going to go full screen on it there. In this table of different products, you can see we have a course. We have what's called a swipe file, right? Which is grabbing past proven successful examples. A workshop bundle. So it could be here we go, career clarity in a weekend. So you might do a bundle like a workshop where you're going to maybe jump on Zoom with your potential clients and help them over the course of a weekend. Maybe you'll do this once a month. And this, again, if you want to do it, or maybe you know someone in this industry that might do it for you. It doesn't have to be you. Or you can hire someone, right? I have done that. I've run ads and I have hired coaches to run workshops for me. So whether you do it, a friend does it, or you just hire someone to do it, an example of a workshop. Or if you just don't want the hassle and you don't want to do a workshop, no problem. You just skip that product and we don't put it into your bundle. So here, I'll come back on here. Actually, I'll do it that way. So an interactive guide, and it explains what that guidebook is here. A coaching package. Again, coaching may or may not be something that you want to offer. And it doesn't mean that you have to do the coaching or consulting. You can hire coaches and consultants, or if you know someone in the industry who you can team up with, and split the revenue. You bring the customers and they bring the coaching, and you guys, split the profits. A guided experience, a course, a digital planner, an audio series, right? I love this one, Freedom Frequencies, to have an audio book, an audio training about career changes. Templates, so it could be resume templates, a mini course, how to be your own boss after 40. So this is all about starting your own business. A guidebook, a membership, a summit, right? And a summit can be a virtual event, or it could be an in-person one. A journal. So you can actually create the templates for a journal that someone could fill out, a template pack, an assessment. Now, one of the things I want you to realize is that most of these products that I'm putting up here can be created by AI. In fact, our push button AI service actually creates several of these that you can make using our tools, and it will just make them for you. So these are, and even examples of like a workshop that you might deliver on Zoom or in person. You can have the whole thing scripted or outlined by AI. You don't have to write it. You just can go through your outline that AI generates for you and read the materials. AI can even make your slide decks for these things. So again, webinars, digital retreat, audio interviews. This is actually a fantastic one because if you're not an expert in your niche market, you can certainly interview experts. You would be shocked at how easy it is to get book authors, podcast, owners, product owners. They all want to promote their stuff. They are so happy to do audio interviews that you can then put in front of your customers. I have done this model, right? So I broke into a market that I was not an expert in. And so I brought together a dozen experts, and I just did I sent out, about 20, 30 emails. I went and found a bunch of experts, emailed them all and said, hey, I'd like to interview you. And then we recorded them all and turned them into a bundle of audio interviews. We did these audio interviews also with our research in mind. We knew the big pain points and the problems and the goals of our market. So when we interviewed the experts, we interviewed them on how to solve those things. See what I'm saying? It wasn't just a random interview. We focus everything down to that market research. So we might take 2 or 3 of those big frustrations and problems that the AI found for us, and then we'll go specifically and ask an expert questions on how to solve those things. And an example in the interview series I focused a set of problems for each individual person I interviewed. So I did problem 1, 2, and 3 with expert number 1, 4, 5, and 6 with expert 2, and so forth, right? And we covered our whole gamut of the potential problems that people want to overcome and solve. So, but you can see toolkits, an email course, an ebook, a coaching program, a live workshop, a video series, and so forth. So what you are going to now do is based upon what you feel confident that you can create using AI or using tools or methods that I teach. We're here on the channel. I teach all the time how to make these things. And also we sell software products at Push Button AI that help you make all of these things. Pick and choose and assemble your bundle. So I recommend at least 4 of those things that you see on the screen there, or you did see on the screen, and you put them together, and that becomes your high ticket product. And again, keeping in mind with those 4 points of what establishes value so that you can command a high ticket price tag. Okay. Well, let's move on. So now that you know that you have what you're going to put into that high ticket bundle, we're going to move on to the next prompt here at step 4. And here's where we're going to tell ChatGPT in the same window. So I highly recommend you leave the same window open, and we're going to copy this whole section like that. We're going to copy it, and then we're going to paste it into ChatGPT. But you'll notice there's one place we have to modify here. So we're going to come down here to ChatGPT, and we're going to paste this in, okay? And right here on this section right here, we're going to modify it, and we're going to tell ChatGPT what we're going to do. So I'm just going to grab randomly a couple of these. So I'll take this one, and you know what? I'm just going to take the whole thing. So I'm going to take these here. I'm going to copy them right out of ChatGPT, and then I'm going to paste these right there. Okay, and I know it's formatted a little funny, but that's okay. Okay, and then it will understand what you've done there, and then we're going to hit submit. And look at that. It is now putting together the sales page. So what I want to also kind of draw your attention to here is that we are assembling a sales page before we make the product. And this, for a lot of people, seems backwards, but it's actually not. So once we have done our market research and identified the problems and frustrations and things we're going to help people with, we've identified their goals that we know we're going to help them achieve for their dream ideal outcome. I then craft the bundle that's going to help someone get that. I then write my sales letter, create my sales process, and then I create my product, which, again, sounds backwards, but it's not. It's actually the correct way to do this, because now when we go into the mode of creating our product using AI tools, we can keep in mind what we promised in our sales letter. Right? So we know what we promised in our sales letter. We know what value we have to deliver on to get someone to buy our product. And we now create a product that fulfills and delivers on the promises made in that sales letter. Does it make sense? So this is almost every time I make and launch a new product, I do it this way. I come up with the research, I bundle my offer, I write my sales letter, and then I finish making my product. So let's go back and see what it has created. Midlife breakthrough experience, right? So now think about as the high ticket product, that's a fantastic name, right? It's not just a course. It's not a training. And I love this line. It says here, rediscover who you are, design what's next, step into your second act with courage and clarity. That's fantastic copy. So this, just right out of the gate, is a perfect start for a high-ticket product. And again, I have sold tens of millions of dollars in high-ticket products myself. So I know when I see a winner, that's a winner. Okay, so, and here we go. It starts off with, you've checked all the boxes, so why does it feel like something's wrong? You've built a career, raised a family, climbed the ladder, and yet in quiet moments, you hear the question whispering, is this really all there is? Boy, this is good copy. And it continues on. So you can see then here it goes into what's included based upon what we told it we were going to include. Here are your benefits, why it's more than a course, and the midlife breakthrough experience investment. So it even priced us. It even gave us a price. Of course, you can change this. You don't have to charge what ChatGPT says here, but it suggested a price. It put our risk reversal and guarantee in, and we have our final call to action. And so what I would do is I would come through here, and then I would tell ChatGPT what you like or don't like about the sales letter and ask it to expand it, okay? So as an example, let's say you don't like the price. I'm going to say, I plan to charge, let's say it's $9.97. And not the price you used. Please adjust the copy and greatly expand upon every section with much more text copy. Okay, and submit it. And so now is a process of where you're going to go back and forth, chatting with ChatGPT to guide the copy. Okay, so now it's going to expand my copy, adjust my price, and it becomes our starting point for our sales process. Fantastic. And also, if you have skills at writing copy, I would highly recommend this become your first draft. And then you can work on the copy yourself and do even more. Or you could go section by section. You could copy a section out and go into AI and ask it to create, make it bigger. But now you can use this as your first draft for your sales material to sell this high ticket product. And then there's a lot of ways to sell it, which takes us on to what I'll talk about next. I often sell high ticket products on webinars. So you can sell high ticket products either on a live webinar. You can use some of the pre-recorded webinars. You can do a video sales letter is another way to do it, where you have a long, a presentation, a set of slides on a video. You could even use AI to voice your sales letter, by the way, if you do that. And there we go. So this is how you start to get to having this high ticket product. So let's go back to the screen. We'll go back to our deck here. And we're moving on to our bonus. And so at this point, you've got all the frameworks for creating your high ticket product. You know exactly what should be in it. You can use AI tools like our very own push button AI to make many of these things. And we can do future training. So let me know if you would like more training on the channel about how to make these things. So all the different kinds of products that you saw listed there, I can do more training if you would like on how to make each one of those. Maybe if you want to learn how to make a slide deck for a training presentation, or you want to learn how to make, a check sheet or an outline, there are lots of different options of different kinds of products. And I'll be happy to do more training for you. Just let me know what you'd like more training on. So pop into the comments and let me know which of those products would you like training on how to make. And I'll show you how to use AI to make whichever is the most popular comments down below. I'll make follow-up trainings and show you how to make them with AI. And so then that's going to move us on to our bonus training. Now, the way you sell a high-ticket product often is by coming up with a low-ticket product to lure someone in and give them a little taste of what you have to offer. Now, our push button AI platform just builds your whole low-ticket product. So if you're interested in that, I'll drop a link to our push button AI product. You can get a demo or learn more about that, and it will just build your entire low-ticket product just done for you. It's 2 clicks, fill out a couple of forms, and you get a whole business. It helps you with picking a domain name, setting everything up, building your website, creating your course, installing your shopping cart, all that stuff it does for you. But if you'd like to make your own separately using ChatGPT or something, we're going to dive into that now. But again, I'll drop a link down below in the comments somewhere so where you can go get a demo and learn more about push button AI. And then we're often doing webinars. So I'll probably link to one of our webinars, usually about twice a week. I'm on live and we invite people in to get access to push button AI. So I'll drop links to all those below. But let's get on to the prompt on how to do this yourself. So we've got a low ticket offer prompt. And what it's doing is talking about how we're going to use this as bait to sell a high ticket product. And so with this, we're going to copy all of this. And producer Nick.
Yes.
What do we need to do to customize this particular prompt as we use it in ChatGPT?
You can just copy and paste it as is. You don't have to input anything.
That's simple. So if I come here right back into the same chat window, I'll paste it right there, and I don't need to modify it at all.
No. What it's doing is it's taking inspiration from the high ticket sales page we just made, and it's customizing low ticket offers that kind of dovetail in directly with the high ticket. So it's intended so we can show these low ticket offers to a completely cold, unfamiliar audience. They uptake us on the the low ticket, and then we ascend them into the high ticket.
There we go. Wake up your why, a PDF lead magnet, free. So that's pretty low ticket. A 5-day challenge. By the way, I have found challenges to be an incredibly effective way to bring leads in, whether it's to a 3-day or a 5-day challenge. In fact, I have a 3-hour challenge coming up soon that probably everybody watching this will hear all about it when we launch it. But yeah, we have a 3-hour challenge coming up. That's a fantastic low ticket front end product. Courage in 7 minutes. So that's an audio bundle. I love that. An assessment. So quizzes and assessment are another great thing. Which, by the way, we're going to be teaching people how to build their very own software products. So you could actually create a software assessment following some future training that you'll be hearing from me next week, actually, about that. So we got an ebook, a paid webinar, so like, a 60-minute or 90-minute webinar, a swipe file, a digital toolkit. Good stuff. Lots and lots of examples of different kinds of ebooks, mini courses, digital guides, and it gives you a description, not just the price and a name, but it gives you a description of what should go into it. So that's pretty good. And then it's even offering to do more work for us. It wants to even write our emails for us, but we'll do that another day. And then Producer Nick, anything else people should know about applying this set of prompts that you think we should cover?
What I like to do, especially when it's giving you the table with the idea for offers.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like to ask it for a ton. So the way I set up the prompt is it gives you 20. I like to kind of rinse and repeat a few times. I say, give me 20 more. And then it'll give me 20 more. And I say, now give me another 20 more. And I do that until I have like 100 plus. So I have a lot to choose from. I have a big menu. And I'll take, like we did earlier, where, we're mixing and matching to create our high ticket product. I'll take my favorite parts from some of my favorite offers. Because if you get 100 plus, that is a lot of variety. That's a lot of offers you get to look at. So I'll take my very favorite out of looking at 100 plus offers, and I'll use that to create what I want to sell.
Love that. And I think, too, that's another example of some bit of advice I would give, even though we're in this, again, you can download that for free. You'll get all the prompts that we used in the deck. Where is it? There it is there. So you'll get all the prompts that you can copy and paste them, but you don't have to be limited to just the copy and paste. Once ChatGPT answers, you can guide it. You can chat with it. Feel comfortable to say like, well, I like this, but I didn't like that. Or can you give me more of this? Or like Nick said, give me 20 more, right? So you don't have to like stay rigidly fixed with only copying and pasting our prompts. You can chat with ChatGPT in between to get results that are much more tailored to what you personally are looking for. So that'd be my advice on that. And so I'm going to wrap this segment up by letting you know that this is a powerful tool in your business arsenal. Everyone should have a high ticket product. And now with this strategy, we've just put it into reach so that anyone can have one. So check that out. Go download the guide. You'll have the whole deck with all the prompts that you can get. Link in the description. Just become a free member of our Ingeniosity newsletter. And then Nick, every Friday, we'll be sending you another playbook. You'll get free playbooks from us every week that have tips, prompts, advice, resources, case studies, and everything you need to scale up and build your internet business. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe. Down below, you'll see that red subscribe button. Give that a tap so you can join. We have a growing community around the channel who joins me live every Wednesday. And I hope to see you on one of my live shows. And again, smash the like button, do the comments, all the things that the algorithm loves. It helps us get the word out. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Okay, that was our training segment. So with that, we shall go to Q&A.
All right.
So Producer Nick.
Right, yes.
I am going to do a very quick commercial break. because I have run out of coffee.
Okay.
We cannot continue without the caffeine. I'm sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a very quick commercial break, and I am going to do. Where's the weird masterclass one? Is that in here?
Should be. Do you want me to play it?
Yes. Oh, I see it right there. I think it's the Green Profits one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll click it. So, all right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. I will be back in just about 60 seconds with a full cup of coffee and all of your questions answered in just a moment. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Not yet a member of Push Button AI? Then what are you doing? So I would like to invite you to a free masterclass. We're going to be covering in detail how to create an entire digital online course, an entire business, in fact, that can be set up 100% using AI. And if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, what you're going to want to do is head over right now to pushbutton.ai/free class. In that class, I'm going to show you how we can help two different kinds of people. Number one, if you've got a business and you want to add training, courses, or information to your existing business as a new profit center, or maybe a way to add value to your customers, then I'm going to show you how to do a detailed 10-module training course, including 50 to 60,000 words of content, have it set up and built for you by AI. Also, if you're trying to start your first business online and you're looking for a great business model to make some money online, then Push Button AI is the right solution. And I'll show you how you can use this amazing tool to build an entire business like that. In a snap, Push Button AI will build an entire course for you, create video training, audio training, write your sales page for you, write 30 days of emails for you, create your logo, build your website, set up your shopping cart, set the entire thing up, create a members area so that people can pay you to get access to the course, and you get to charge money and keep all the profits. It's quite easy. You answer 2 questions and you hit a button, and it literally does everything for you. A logo, a 30-day email sequence, your sales pages for selling your product. It creates the entire training course that you can charge money for. It installs your website, sets up your hosting, launches your site. It even helps you pick the perfect domain name, all powered by AI. You just literally log in and start up your brand new business. So attend the free masterclass. I'll show you a live demo of how it works. I'll explain the entire business model so you can see exactly how does it work and how do you profit. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. You'll see it down below the video down there somewhere. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. It actually will make sure that you're notified next time that we go live. We release content all throughout the week, by the way. So we have videos on additional strategies and tactics we'll be dropping to you all week long. Check out all of our useful content. Head over to pushbutton.ai/free class if you're not yet a customer. Every paying customer, we're going to be taking today's training. We'll take all the prompts, all the resources, everything that you need to use it, and we're going to put it in your paid members area. So you'll see it in your AI profits course inside your members area. On that note, I'll see you there. Bye for now. I'm not going nowhere. I'm right here. Loaded up with the good stuff. All right. So now we're going to do Q&A, and we're going to kick it off to the question panel, and I'll take up all the questions. Let's talk about high-ticket products. But actually, I'll answer, well, you know what? We'll do high-ticket products first, and I'll open it up to Ask Me Anything in just a couple of minutes. So we'll do that. And before we do that, I have an incredibly important question for producer Nick. And are you doing camera today at all, or you just you being a disembodied voice the whole show? Nope. Nick, are you out there? Uh-oh, did we lose Nick?
Hello?
There you are.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah, my mic cut out. Anyway. Yeah, I'm a ghost today.
Okay, you can keep being a ghost.
Yeah.
Well, before you ask everybody's questions, so I'll let you be babysitting the chat there, and you can ask all the questions. But before that, I have a question for you.
What's your question?
Why did the duck get a job?
Why?
To make some extra bills.
Okay. All right.
Well, I got a laugh. Okay, I got a laugh. That was pretty good. What's your score on the dad joke scale?
Let's say 8.6. 8.6.
8.6 out of 10. That's not bad. Okay, I don't know. My phone is having a freak out attack. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Okay, good. Audience, let us know. Chat, what is your score of that one? Is that a good one? Oh, now I have a groan-worthy one coming up next. So I don't blame me. It's all from ChatGPT. So I made a rhyme. How about that? So, okay, questions. And I see no ratings. Come on, audience. What's our score? What's my score? Dad joke scale of 0 being like it's horrible to 10 being hilarious. A 3. Don is a critic today. Okay. Don gives me a 3. No, not Don. Dan. Sorry. I can't see very well until I go put my face like 2 feet from the screen. I can't see. Okay, there we go. That's better. Alex gives me a 7. DE gives me a 6. Christina gives me a 9. Wow, thanks for that. Okay.
Oh, man. Dan gave that a 3?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I have a groan-worthy one coming up. That with that, we'll go to your questions.
All right. Well, I want to start with this one. I thought this was a good question. Someone asked, what the heck is push button AI?
Fantastic question. And that is exactly, well, you should go to pushbutton.ai/ what is it? Profit. Pushbutton.ai/ profit. And go find out. You put it in there without the HTTP, so it won't be clickable. So here, I'll pop it in with the full bit. There we go. Go check that out. It's a webinar that we're holding tomorrow night, and basically, it is a business building AI tool. So it will help you build your entire business. And no chatting back and forth with AI, no prompts, none of that stuff. Answer 2 questions and hit a button, and then it will build your business for you. So it's a completely different process, unlike prompting and working with ChatGPT and all this stuff. And it goes way beyond that because it helps you register your domain name. It does all the tech stuff like setting up your website, installing your hosting, building that site, filling it with content, all kinds of stuff that it does 100% automated. So go check it out. You can learn all about it. The webinar is tomorrow night. Yeah.
All right.
Next question.
DE Production has some commentary on the niche I chose to show this workflow off, where it's like people who want to transition careers.
Yeah.
He says, I like Nick's niche. Very appropriate these days. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people and I know kind of you focused in on sort of a little bit of an older age demographic, but I think there's a lot of different generations having this sort of career crisis, I guess you'd call it, for varying reasons. So I think, people coming out of college have a crisis kind of like this, but for a whole different reason. Then you have the millennials who maybe have gotten started in their career and they're sort of not feeling like this is really what they want to do long term. And then, of course, you have my generation, us Gen Xers who are a little further along, and we see retirement coming over the hill, and we're second guessing, and then probably even beyond that, those who are just readying and going into retirement have a similar thing. So I think you could do, you kind of have to pick which of those segments you want to go after, but I think it's a fantastic market.
I had a thought that I wanted to see what you thought about my thought.
Yeah.
So, in this tangent made me think about it. I'm writing just for fun in my Notion workspace. I'm writing an AI manifesto. How I think AI is going to how I think AI is changing the world and how the end of the 21st century is going to look. And I think prior to AI, the model was if you wanted to have an ambitious, successful life and make a lot of money, whether it was like as a W-2, like full time, or as an entrepreneur, you had to become a specialist. I think generalist types prior to AI didn't do as well as someone who went super deep in like one area. I think depth was king over breadth. But now I think with the advent of AI, I think it allows people to be generalists and get rich. So you get to have AI enables you to live a rich life and become an expert in multiple domains and not having to pick one and sacrifice all the rest. And you still get to be super successful. And I think that's where AI shines. But what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Well, I think to me, it's like the great leveler, right? Like it levels the playing field so that somebody who doesn't have the depth, like you described, maybe hasn't done extensive training or research in a topic, can still, in terms of entrepreneurship anyway, can still launch a business and provide good value and help their customers, even though they haven't gone incredibly deep in that particular niche market. So I agree.
Yeah. I should publish my AI manifesto in the newsletter.
As long as you're not up in a cabin in the woods typing it on a typewriter.
I'll omit that part. I'll redact it.
Your manifesto about how AI is going to end the world, right? Going off the grid, getting away from the AIs. Anyway, next question.
All right. Alex said, "This is awesome. Is there anything that AI is not good at?"
I don't know. It's good. It can't do things in the physical universe yet, but so other than that, it is impressive at how good it's getting. In fact, it's a topic that I've been avoiding, but soon, starting next week, you're going to start to hear from me a little bit more about how to use AI to build entire software businesses. So, which, by the way, a quick little informal survey. We still have a good chunk of the audience here, so I don't think we've lost too many yet. So I have a really important survey question for those of you who are here in the chat. So please answer this in the chat, even if this might be, maybe this is your first show. You've never been on one of our shows before. I'd love your answer for this very important question. Who here would be interested to learn how you can get AI to build you a software product, right? So like, let's say that you had the idea of, I don't know, you want to make a keyword research tool, or you want to build the next AI app, or maybe for your niche, maybe you want to build like a calculator that is like a quiz, a personality test quiz that can help you with your personal development business, or, maybe you're serving, I don't know, the food and cooking niche, and you want to have an index, a library of recipes. There's an endless amount. You can do these cool little products around a niche market, or you can do them just in general for cool software tools like solving business problems and things. But let me know and give me a yes or a no. If it's a no, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Tell me why. I would love to know why you're either interested in that or not interested. So give me a yes or a no and a little reason why. It will be super helpful to me because I am going to start doing some training on this. So you're going to hear from me. I'm going to have a webinar next week, actually, and we're going to talk about this very subject. Selling software is something I've been doing successfully now for a long time, and I've made a lot of money selling software tools. And I am not a developer. I'm not a programmer. And so I thought I wanted to come up with a way where I could let anyone, even if you have never done a course on programming, you can barely use your email, how you can use AI to have a software business. And again, whether that is creating a cool software tool that you're going to use in your existing business, like maybe even you have an existing business now, maybe you're a roofer. You could make a cool little app where someone has to put their name and email address in to become a lead, right? They'll become a lead, and they can type in and score their roof to see if, is their roof need maintenance? Do you have a leak? When you look at the side of your house, do you see discoloring or whatever, right? You can have like a self-assessment that they then score themselves as to whether or not they need to replace their roof or whether they should get an inspection, right? So you can make custom software tools for your specific business, or just if you want to become the next, software entrepreneur, you can become the next Bill Gates, right? So that is a topic we're going to be diving into. And so I would love, again, if you could give me a yes or a no. I will not be offended if you say, no, I hate that idea, but just tell me why. Why do you say no? Why do you say yes? Either way, fill that in the comments as we go through Q&A. Just pop your answers in there. Just give me a yes or a no and why. Be super helpful. It'll also help guide me in the training I'm going to deliver next week. So that I can help everyone with what, to deliver exactly what you guys need and want. Okay, cool. And then we'll go back to questions.
I actually had a contribution on that question, what AI is not good at.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, when you're using chat, not something like push button AI, but when you're in a ChatGPT conversation, it is, or Claude or Grok or any of them, it is not good at one-shotting. And by one-shotting, I mean giving it one prompt with nothing else and letting it rip. For example,
make me a course. Hey, I want a course about X. Yeah.
If you noticed, if you're a veteran and you've been through multiple of these trainings, when I put these trainings together, like the one we just did, it was 4 steps with the bonus step, so 5 total prompts. Most of the trainings are like 3, 4, sometimes like 12 steps and beyond. So if you want to come up with good content or come up with research or come up with an offer with an AI, do not one-shot it. It's rare if there's a prompt where it's like this one prompt. That's not that common. Learn how to these chats. It's a chat. You are having a conversation with the AI and you're going back and forth. When you use it conversationally and you go back and forth with the AI, you get the best results. So that's my contribution.
Awesome.
Do you agree?
That's so true. I mean, and that's part of the value proposition of, circling back, a little self-promotion here, but that's part of the value proposition of what makes push button AI so cool. So we've moved it out of that. It's not a chat bot. It isn't like having to go back and forth and copy and paste and go round and round with the chat bot. Instead, it's like a more of an all-encompassing solution so that you get not just content created, but websites launched, domain names registered, businesses created without having to go in circles with a chat bot. But when you do use ChatGPT, Nick is spot on here. To get good stuff out, it takes examples like we did today of have it do research. You got to give it tons of information and context, and then multiple shot prompts to really get good stuff out of it.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed, I call them ChatGPT-isms, and you see this content online where it's like, oh, that was written by AI. This article sucks, right? That's the type of stuff you get with one-shot. When you one-shot with AI, frankly, it does suck. But if you learn how to multi-shot, like with the examples we've shown you today, you can get stuff that's really good. They've done tests where they'll show people articles, right? Like a sample, like a few hundred people, and they ask them, they're like, which one of these articles was written by a human and which one was written by AI? And when they have good prompt engineering and they're multi-shotting the articles, they can't tell the difference. So you've probably already read articles written by AI and you didn't know because they were good.
I've watched video content that I didn't realize was AI until afterwards. I've showed you some of it. Like I watched an entire 10-minute long video, and I did not know that I was not watching a human. It's crazy.
I think voice has gotten to the point too, where because like a year ago you could tell there were artifacts in the voices, and you could tell it wasn't human.
Mm-hmm.
Now the voice models are so good, I can't tell the difference a lot of the time. It's fooling people at this point. So
Cool. Well, then let's go on to the next question.
Yes.
And thanks everybody for your survey answers coming in. So if you haven't answered yet, keep them coming in. And if you gave me a yes or a no, be sure you follow up with the reason why. So why is the answer a yes? And why is the answer a no? Either way, please put those in as well. Okay, cool. Next question.
Yeah. So, and I'll answer. I'll read the question and answer it. From Alex. He says, "I need more help with doing the prompts. Any suggestions?" If you could elaborate on that, give us some more detail. Like a
prompt writing guide. We did that a long time ago. So we did a training. It was over a year ago. Remember, I went into like the whole be, do, have idea of how to put a prompt together. You remember that?
I do.
We could modernize that and kind of show with all of the updates that have happened with AI, like a prompting best practices. If everybody wants it, I don't know how useful that would be, but we could come back and do that if enough people would find it useful.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite topics. So.
Yeah, because prompting has changed a lot since over a year ago. It's a completely different. Using these tools is completely different than it was back, a year or 18 months ago.
Yeah. Well, the Gemini released one, OpenAI released one, and Anthropic Claude. Like for the past 1 to 2 weeks, they all release these huge, like 50-page PDFs, each of them. It's weird how they all release the same thing at the same time, but they all release these huge prompt engineering guides. And together it's like 200 pages, but
we should consolidate them all and then like bring it down to the most vital, important parts and turn that into a training. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Cool.
CODE Production says they'd like to know how to use push button and commission engine together with high ticket products. Didn't Jay put together a guide with how to combine them?
Yeah, I know we have a guide that does that. So open up a ticket or open up a help request to send an email to help@pushbutton.ai and say you want the guide on how to use commission engine together with push button. And that'll give you some insight on how they play together nicely. And then you can, once you've got that guide, then rewatch this training video. And I think that should help you pull it all together.
All right. And then DE Production has another really good question. Long one. I'll read the whole thing. He says, if you have a bundle / high ticket product, what value does a once a month Zoom call add? What value does one-on-one coaching add? What value does a custom video personalized for one person add?
Well, it's not a one-to-one math where I can say, well, coaching, once a week adds X. It's more about the problem that your coaching solves. And does it bring the person, like if you saw those 4 points we covered in our training, right? Does it make the person more likely to achieve their dream outcome? The more it does, the more it's worth. Does it help alleviate some concerns? Maybe that they're worried that they won't make it. Maybe they're like, I really want this outcome and this course looks awesome, but I don't know if I can do it. Well, adding a coaching component helps because now they can be kind of coached through and help answer questions and keep them moving along. And it helps increase their certainty that they can achieve it, right? If you remember those four, here, I'll pull the 4 points back up so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, why is it not doing that? What? Okay. Can I remove that? And then I have to add that. Okay. It seems like we have a limit on the number of things we can add in. But here, let's go back to the idea of value. So right here. So we got dream outcome. So how much do each of those components help move someone to their dream outcome? How does it increase their likelihood of achievement, or at least that they feel, right? It's more about how they perceive it. How do they feel that extra component, is it going to make it happen faster? Is it going to make it more certain that they reach, are going to achieve that success? Is it going to ease the effort in the sacrifice that they have to make. Maybe by having a coach, it helps them avoid costly, expensive mistakes. Maybe by having a coach, it helps them, not have to go through as much work. And it's kind of that's why I bundle it into a package. And so you'll notice in times, if you ever watch me deliver training and you look at my offers, they're very intentionally packaged for this, right? So when I create an offer, I want the person to feel like they're going to have a high odds of success because of the combination of factors, right? The course might be fantastic. The information might be awesome. But if they don't feel like they can apply it, or they feel like they're going to get stuck, what can you now add to the bundle that helps overcome that so that they now have a higher perceived likelihood of achievement, right? So it's by putting these together, and it's almost like you're overcoming their objections. Like the higher price you charge, the bigger the objections are going to be to buy it, right? And so think of these packages or ways of overcoming those objections and achieving these 4 things. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. All right.
Cool.
Alex says Alex really wants the manifesto, so I think I'll bring my manifesto to light.
You can have fun with ChatGPT's image generator, making you at a typewriter in a cabin, cranking out the manifesto.
I want to make maybe cool looking, like almost like thumbnails on the newsletter for each lesson that goes out each week. And for my manifesto, I'll make it like really creepy. I'll give it a picture of me and like make me sinister and like in a darkly lit cabin.
And hey, on this topic, so I know we're running a little bit long. So if Q&A doesn't go too much longer, do you have anything fun you want to share? I know we talked about doing that. I don't know if you got prepared or have anything to do. But.
I have a tweet that it's just from this guy John Rush, who's a Well,
don't spoil the mystery.
Sorry. Well, I want to know if you want to share it. I don't share the contents of the tweet, but the tweet it's a thread. It says how to be ultra productive. I run 20 startups simultaneously, and it's how many tips is it? It's 16 tips.
Any of them use AI?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do that. So we'll do next segment after we get through Q&A. So we'll come back with that content from the tweet about how to be hyper effective and using some AI tools. So yes, let's cover that. So do we have many questions left?
No, actually not a lot. The two things I want to share. Lots of interest in AI software building. Also lots of interest in prompt engineering guide. So here's a question from Love My Store. I'll read it verbatim for you. Love My Store says, yes, would be very interested. Few people at the moment on JVZ, I'm assuming JVZoo, selling same right now. So that's worth more than $37 to $267 that those guys are charging. And I know that you'll be more thorough.
Cool.
All right. Alex says, can I get link for Ingeniosity newsletter? And you got them covered. So, and then Christina says, still not sure where to find the prompts. Yeah, because I haven't added the prompts from today's lesson to the members area yet. So
yeah, how we do these, we're doing it live. And then when the content team, they'll take the deck. Sometimes we add stuff to it or make them easier for you guys to consume. And when we post the video, the fully edited video, we post the deck at the same time and we'll email you. So the minute this is all available, you'll get an email of like, hey, the finished edited down training as well as the deck becomes available. And then we email you and you can go get it. So that's the process that we do. So when we're live, the decks are not yet available until it's all edited and polished and made ready for you. And then we email you with your links. That's how that works. Yeah.
And if you're a member of Ingeniosity and you can't find it, just reply, because I read the emails. Reply to one of the emails and just say, hey, I'm trying to find XYZ prompt. Where is it? And I'll just send you the deck if you're already a member. So my email's nick@pushbutton. All right. Oh, this is such a good question, and I'll answer it, and you can chime in if you have anything to add from DE Production.
Mm-hmm.
He says, would you put an age group in the prompt? So my answer is, if you already know the age group, yes. The way I designed the prompt was, it was for someone who didn't know much about their market. They knew very generally what their market is, right? Like dog owners. That is a very big market, and they don't have it narrowed down further than that yet. The way the prompt is designed is, you could come in knowing very little about your market and come out the other end knowing a lot more about it and with an offer that they'll want to buy. But if you already know more about your market, yes, the prompt works way better the more information you provide it. So if you said, brand new first-time dog owners who are also starting their family for the first time and have a baby and live in the suburbs, and you get very granular and specific, the prompt shown here today will work so much better. So yes, if you know the age, put it in the prompt. Do you have anything on that?
Nope, I second that. Great answer.
Yeah. All right. And then pro se litigants, please. What is the difference between commission engine and push button? And can I sell multiple courses? And I'll just read it verbatim. Please, the difference between commission engine and PBAI is that I can sell multiple courses on PBAI, not CE.
Okay, yeah. To simplify it, Push Button AI builds course businesses that you either give away for free to get leads for a business, or you sell at a low ticket price to make profit, right? That's why Push Button AI fits so well with the strategy we talked about today. Commission Engine is all about using our AI tools to promote affiliate products. It's all centered around affiliate marketing. And how do you build an affiliate marketing business that promotes other people's products and services? So that is probably the simplest way. There's some other details about what's included in one and not the other, but that's the most basic thing that makes them different from each other. And so and to follow up with that other question about having multiple courses, so our automatic push button builder builds one course on one website. Now, there's an easy way for you to add more courses onto that website. It's just not fully automated like when you first build your whole business. It's all automated. It's all done for you. And then you can add a second course. There's just a couple of manual steps that the team could be happy to help you with that if you need help with that. Yeah.
All right.
Next question. Yeah.
Pro se litigants, push button is an e-commerce site. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, it is in that it sells a product, and it does have a shopping cart that will sell any product. It just so happens the products that it makes are digital, intangible courses and videos and things like that. But it does have a shopping cart, which technically makes it an e-commerce business. Yeah.
All right. And Love My Store has a joke. I'll read it to you.
Yeah.
Why did the marketer get a new phone?
Why?
To improve their call to action.
Oh, well, I like that. So now I get to write a joke. Let me see. I will give that a 7.7. How about that?
Okay. I liked it more. I said 8 on the dot.
8. Okay. I'm more of a critic today. Okay.
Guess so.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, what I would like to do is take a very quick commercial break, and then we will be right back with Nick's segment on how to be incredibly effective using AI and just in general, how to get a lot done and be really hyper efficient. So we'll get to Nick's segment next, and we'll open Ask Me Anything. So ask any questions. You need any help, any tips, guidance, you're struggling with something, ask me anything in the chat. We'll cover those as well as our final round. But before we do that, we'll take a very quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
The other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had Push Button AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using push-button AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This push-button AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
Oh, found the button. There we are. Hello, welcome back. Some of you are still seeing ads. YouTube is doing its ad break, and it's busy doing that. So I decided to revise my score. In reviewing the footage, I've decided that it's actually worthy of an 8.8.
You did a recount.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a recount. So
we audited the joke and we recounted it.
Here you go. Yeah. So revised score is 8.8.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay. You should be. Who was that? That was Love My. Was that Love My Story? That was
Love My Story. Yeah.
You should be proud of yourself. That's a strong score.
So before we move on, I have a question for you, Nick.
What is your question?
What did the fisherman say to the magician?
What?
Pick a cod, any cod.
Okay. That deserves an 8.8. I like that.
Hey, how about that? I thought that was going to get a groan from you, but okay.
No, that was awesome.
All right. Well, there we go. I got the 8.8 right back at me. So there we are. Audience, what do you say? What does that one rate? Pick a cod, any cod. And are you ready to do your presentation?
Okay. I didn't have this planned. It was just you asked me if I had anything to share, and I'm like, oh, I thought of this tweet today. So,
well, I'd like to put everyone on the spot. So there you go.
So here's what we'll do. And if we decide to make this into a full video, we'll record the hook afterwards. So you don't need to do a hook. We'll just jump right in.
Okay. Yeah, and we don't even necessarily need to make this a formal video segment, but
yeah, I'll share my screen. Read each. It's 16 tips. I'll read each tip, and then we could talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. I see DE Production gave me an 8.6, so I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, did you free? Oh no, you're back. You froze for a second. All right. So, are you ready?
Yeah. So go ahead and share. Is it letting you share your screen?
Here, let me share my screen.
I might have to remove the presidents there. Now see if that works.
All right. All right. Do you see?
Yep.
Okay. So this is from John Rush. I follow him. He's I think he does mostly AI and like SEO, search traffic.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm following him. Okay.
Yeah. He's one of these, I guess you call him indie hackers. He's a bunch of bootstrapped niche tools and softwares. And he says he runs 20 startups simultaneously, which is, I would say that's pretty impressive. So he says, how to be, I'm going to like it, how to be ultra productive. I run 20 startups simultaneously. These are the tips most wouldn't expect. And I thought you might have a lot to contribute here because you've had a lot of businesses over the years and you've generated over $100 million in revenue online. So I thought you'd have the perfect commentary on this.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about having to be productive. I'm literally, as I sit here, launching 3 products. So yes.
All right. So tip number 1, develop great memory to ditch docs and notes. It's 100 times faster to put and pull information from your memory than from a computer. I'd say this is the most important for being productive. Memory is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. I actually want to say right off the bat, I don't agree with that one. I think I agree with the concept of a second brain where you religiously record and track every single thing, because I don't trust my memory. There are times when me and you have jumped on calls to plan things or sort things out, and I don't write down what we discussed, and I completely mess it up, and I give you a deliverable that's not what you asked for. And had I written it down and stored it, we would have avoided that whole problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think, memory is very useful, but it's not always reliable. So I agree with you. I think, I'm really investigating the idea of making a second brain myself right now with AI. So I've tried a couple of different AI tools that are supposed to do that, and I haven't found one that I've really liked. So I'm going to do another round of research. There's been enough advancements in AI where I feel like there's probably a good product out there. So I'm going to do a round of research. If I find a good one, I'll share it with everybody to let you know. And these are tools where like you can save notes and bookmark websites and save videos and pictures and whatever, and kind of assemble it into a brain that you use AI to keep track of it all. So I'll let you know if I find a good one. I'm in search of one. So,
do you know who Dan Coe is?
I know the name, but I don't know why I can't know why why I know him. I don't remember why.
He's just a big entrepreneur in this space. Mm-hmm. He makes really good YouTube videos. He just released a tool called Cortex that's basically exactly what you just described. I'll send you it. I haven't tried it. It's really cheap. I think it's only like $15 a month. But
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, and if I like it, I'll do a review for everybody.
Yeah, but I've been wanting to try it, and you just reminded me. Anyway, next tip. All right, learn to switch tasks and contexts. When I chat with someone, instead of watching a typing indicator, I switch to another task and then come back. Think of it as a CPU that processes commands on cycles. That's what I do. Every cycle, I touch many tasks. Then on the next cycle, I touch them all again. So there's never any quote unquote idle time for me.
I do this. And my cycle time varies, right? So like, this, Nick, like we'll be aggressively working on a project, and maybe you've noticed this, maybe not, but have you ever noticed that if you've delayed a little bit in getting back to me, I disappear, and then it sometimes might take a while before I come back and aggressively work on it again, and then I disappear, and then I come back, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, because the minute I'm going idle and I'm not getting the information back from whether it's you or any member of our team, I'm on to the next cycle, right? And I take it as far as I can to completion, and then I move to the next cycle and the next. And so if I ever get hung up because I'm waiting for information or waiting for a response, it's like it goes into the backlog and I go to the next cycle.
Yeah, I don't have that superpower. I'm very weird and fixated on not context switching and doing the same thing for a very long period of time. I like the concept of deep work, and I'll say, okay, I'm blocking out 6 hours to do this one thing. And if I'm interrupted or if I have to switch, I'm kind of autistic about it. And I'm like, my brain freaks out. And I know that's suboptimal. And I think
it's a skill that you can practice, right? Because now I would go crazy if I kept all of those in like my top of mind awareness, and I was like, because the number of different cycles of action that I'm in the middle of right this moment is uncountable. And if I tried to remember them all, or they all were in the top of my mind, I would be a mess, right? But I've developed, I'll call it a skill, to be able to, when I end off on something and I'm moving to the next cycle, I don't hold on to it. I don't think about it. I don't remember it. And I'll throw it on a to-do list. And when I come back around to the to-do list, then I pick it back up again. But I feel like it is a little bit of a learned skill to be able to dump it out of your mind and and just focus only on what the next task is at hand.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, you see kids at the playground and their mom is like, all right, we have to go now. And the kid throws a temper tantrum in the middle of playing. When I'm doing one thing and then I have to go and do something, I have a hard stop or I have to put out a fire or something, my brain like freaks out and I have to disabuse myself of that and be like you, where I can just jump from one thing to the other, no hard feelings, and let go of what I'm doing in present time and move on to the next thing. Like this next tip. Number 3, for every task that takes an hour, figure out a 5 to 70 rule, as in 5% of effort that brings 70% of results. Once you discover such hacks, you can reuse them. E.g., I read the first and last sentences of emails I receive, and I don't think anyone ever noticed it reading my replies. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you go. Your screen moved.
I'm still here.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't.
No, a disagreement.
I don't know. I kind of agree with that in that, I focus on, like it sort of goes along with that cycling idea. So I do focus on like the 80% of, I may call it an 80-20 rule, right? But the 20% of the effort that gets 80% of the results. When I'm cycling through, I'm always focused on what is the 20% I can do that gets me the result with minimal effort. But at the same time, if I'm finishing a complete cycle of action, I want to make sure it's 100%. Does that make sense? Right. Yeah.
I guess that ties into like why I like to see things through till it's 100% completion on that cycle before moving on to the next thing. I don't like starting something and then I get like 36% of the way through, and then I jump onto the other thing before I bring it to a nice milestone.
I just realized that you have Bodhi as your profile pic. I like that.
I do.
Okay. Yeah. There he is.
Number 4, use software and AI for everything. Think of it as a leverage. Once you set up such leverage, you'll reuse it. So often adopting AI or software is painful and feels like you're spending more time adopting it than you'll gain from it. But remember, you adopt once, you reuse forever.
I agree.
Are there any softwares or tools you've picked up recently that are changing the game?
I am playing around with something called Lovable, which everybody will hear more about next week. But
Lovable's awesome.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that next week. But yeah, that's something I've been playing with.
All right. And then this is basically an addendum to the last one. Keep adopting new tools as you go. I recently adopted voice-to-text app on Mac. Now I can reply to the comments on social media with my voice, and it's 5 to 10 times more efficient. Also, I get less tired.
Yeah, I use my phone pretty extensively. I actually use my phone for work far more than I use my desktop. And I'm using voice dictation all the time as an example of using this very similar thing. So rather than sitting at the keyboard typing, I'm often conveying my emails and text responses all by text, voice to text.
I like using voice dictation for content because right now you're in OC and I'm up in LA, but sometimes I'll come down. And when I've come down and I had questions I wanted to ask you, and I asked you the question, I recorded the conversation. I basically interviewed Bill. I asked him questions and then he gave me answers to the questions. It was really easy to adopt the transcripts of those interviews into really valuable content or scripts we would use for YouTube. So if you're producing content or even if you're ideating, I think that would be very helpful. All right. Tip number 6, avoid difficult / time-consuming tasks. In 95% of cases, you can look for simpler alternatives. For example, do online calls instead of a physical meeting, because it's 1 hour VA entire day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to do my stuff more efficiently and in less time.
All right, and I have an idea. Let's end this off on tip 8. There's 16 total, and we'll do the second half next week at the end of next week's show.
All right.
Number 7, don't be proactive. Instead, do things when you absolutely have to and it's urgent. Otherwise, you'll end up making wrong assumptions about things and wasting most of your time on things that never ended up being important.
Yeah, I kind of agree with this, with a small exception. So I, personally, if I'm starting a new project, I will spend a bit more upfront time to try to make it sort of properly planned out, at least in terms of like an outline form. And then once the project is underway, then I agree with this point where, I'm just like doing the bare of what's necessary to get each one accomplished. But I do believe that there is at least worth putting a little bit more thought and planning when you're first mapping out a project that you're going to be working on. So yeah. So kind of a yes and a no for me.
All right. Last one for today, and we'll pick this up next show. Number 8, do things fast. Read faster. Write faster. Move your eyes faster. Try to hurry up when you do things. Get used to it. You can actually do things 2 to 10 times faster by simply hurrying up, just like you can walk 3 kilometers an hour or 6 kilometers an hour. The more you practice, the faster you do things.
I wholeheartedly agree with this one. I think especially in the work at home environment, it is so easy to slip into a casual, leisurely pace of getting production done. So those of you who maybe you're working in your home office after your real job, your day job, you're working at home at night on your side business, or whether you work at home all day long, it is so easy. I have found myself slipping into this from time to time, where it's like it's a little bit casual, a little bit sort of, I'll call it lazy approach to getting your production done during the day. And when I catch myself doing it, I push to I want to go into high speed mode, next project, next cycle, next thing, and all day long. And at the end of the day, I am a little tired, but I look back and boy, I accomplished I think he's right, 10 times more I get done when I'm operating that way. So yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And I noticed on that mastermind we went to not too long ago, and on the cruise.
Oh, on the ship, yeah.
Yeah, with these 8 and 9 figure entrepreneurs. I noticed, because I'd eavesdrop, I noticed people, they meet someone cool, they talk about working together on a project at breakfast, and then by afternoon they were already executing. They didn't, they weren't like waiting till the cruise was over. They weren't like, oh, let's circle back 2 weeks from now. There was like idea, 10 a.m., next step, like 6 hours from then. And I really admired that. And I think it was inspirational, and I'd like to adopt that more into my life.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, I think then we'll cut this segment here, and we can come back and do the other 8 points. So thanks to John Rush. That's his name, right? John Rush.
Yeah, that's it.
For great content in his tweet. And so I do know we have some more questions in there. So let's do our final round of questions. Everybody can pop those into the chat right now. And then before we do the final round of questions, I have one for you.
Okay.
So why did the banana go out with the prune?
Why?
Because it couldn't find a date.
Oh, man, these are good today. Like an 8.5. No.
Okay.
No,
all right. Well,
I'll say 8.7.
Well, I've been very consistent today. So that's, or at least I love taking credit for ChatGPT's jokes, but yeah. All right. And with that, we'll do our final round of questions.
All right. So I'm going to go in chronological order. We're going to pick up from where we left off with Pro Se Litigants, who says, what do you think is the best traffic source for the legal niche selling courses?
The legal niche. So selling courses to attorneys is what I'm going to assume that is. The best traffic source.
I would think long-tail SEO, like finding very niche-specific keywords, very niche-specific legal questions, and trying to rank content for those keywords. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, and the funny thing is, too, if you really start to break down most niches, they do come down to a couple of different places. One is, are there influencers in the niche, right? So find out if they're a great source for traffic. We've talked about that strategy on the channel, about finding influencers and tapping into them as a traffic source. Then it's search, like Nick said. Is there much long tail, meaning like lots of like 4-word or more phrases that people are typing in the search engine with some specific intent to learn something or get something? If that's visible, that's always a good go-to. And then finally, social, and you have to decide where is that audience hanging out. I would think for lawyers, there might be some places. You're not going to find like a group on, Facebook, probably. I would say probably LinkedIn might be another good source for socials. So, but many niches kind of come down to some of the same traffic sources. It's just, locating what those things are.
All right.
Next.
These are two very related questions, also from Pro Se Litigants. First one is, can I sell more than one course on my commission engine site, and am I limited to only 2 courses on my push button site?
Yes. So Commission Engine is there to give courses away for free. So just to clarify that, generally the sites that are built there, now you can modify them and charge money, so you can do that. But out of the box, they're built to give your courses away for free to get leads and promote affiliate products. That's how the Commission Engine model works. In Promotion Engine, obviously that model, you can also give them away for free or charge money for them. You have options. Excuse me. So, but you can put more than one course. But remember, I said it's not automated, right? So there's a manual procedure to generate your course and then put it into your site. Okay, and you could get help from our team. They'll explain how to do that. But basically, you would generate a course in Push Button AI, and it's a process of copying and pasting it into your website. And it takes 5 to 10 minutes of copying and pasting. So it doesn't take forever, but it is a manual process. And you can put more than one course in either site, either one. Commission Engine, Push Button, doesn't matter. You do the same copy and paste procedure for either one.
All right. From Christina, will this be recorded and available later? Yes. Just bookmark this page or keep the tab open and come back when you're ready to watch. Or just go to the YouTube channel. You see the tab live. Just click the latest video. That will be this video.
Hey, Nick, a little interruption before we go to the next question too.
Yeah.
We should remind everybody about the video that we published yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you've got the link handy, but when we wrap up, I would like to point everybody to go check that out.
That one's a cool one. So, yeah, well, after we get at the very end, I'll go ahead and point people at it.
Cool. All right. And with that, we'll go to the next question.
All right. Let's see. This is from Chris. Wait, let me make sure I didn't skip anyone. Okay, I didn't. Chris says, thought that you said that Push Button could only have one course. I would like to do an in-depth course on some of the pain points and solutions in my original course. What do I need to do to get this done? Yeah,
I would say reach out to support, right? So to automatically create and publish a course in a website. That is it creates one course for one website. If then you want to come back and make a second course and put it into that same website, that's a manual step, right? That's hopefully that clarifies it, but that's how. So when out of the box, it's one course per website, and then manually you can add more.
All right. Love My Store says, Nick, you'll love Igor Pogani on YouTube prompts. Yeah, I'll check him out. Let's see. Dr. Connie Green says, hello, Nick. I'm an owner of Pushbutton, and I need help in training and monetizing. Who do I need to contact for help? You email help, and I'll drop this in the chat, help@pushbutton.ai, and they'll sort you out. And Pro Se Litigant says, do you have affiliates that help us promote?
And sorry, I'm being distracted by some messages over here. So go ahead, say that once more.
Pro Se Litigants, do you have affiliates that help us promote?
No, I teach you how to find them. So you find your own. But yes, that you do use affiliates. You can use influencers, but you find them with the processes we've taught. I've done it on the channel here. We have a couple of different videos on finding influencers and affiliates. It's a process that you do to find your affiliates and your influencers. Yeah.
And then Chris, final question from Chris. If your push button course is free, can you add a paid course to the site, or does it also have to be free?
If you manually add a course, you can make it free or any price you want. It doesn't have to be the same price.
All right, that's it.
All right, fantastic. So then we have answered all of the questions. And I want to remind everybody that if you are not a Push Button AI customer, we've had a lot of customers on today, but if you're not a Push Button AI customer and the idea of using AI to just build your whole business for you sounds intriguing, then you're definitely going to want to check out our webinar. So we're going to be on tomorrow. You need to register to attend. This will not be on YouTube. It's a private session that you have to register for. And we have the link pinned in the chat. And where you go to do that is pushbutton.ai/ is it profit? I forgot what that link was.
Yes.
Which was it? Yes. In fact, you know what? Oh, there you go. You put it right there. It is that one right there. So that's pushbutton.ai/profit. And you can go register for that. We'll have the chat open, a whole team there to help you out. I'm going to go through what the absolute best business model is to run on AI right now. And I'll show you how our system creates that for you. And again, it does everything for you, from brainstorming out what niche market you should go into, to helping you pick a domain name, to creating your product, building your website, making a logo, making videos, making audios, emails. Everything you need to launch your business is done by AI. And you can learn all about it by attending that webinar. And I'll do a demo so you can see live how it works and what it builds. And you can check all that out. Go there and register, and make sure you attend tomorrow night. I think it's 5 Pacific. I think that's 8 Eastern time. So that's when it's held tomorrow.
All right. 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 more points before we go.
Mm-hmm.
First one is Jay Chrysler. Jay Chrysler Marketing says, Nick, why do you always skip my questions? Unless you were logged in under a different username. I didn't see any of I scrolled up. This is the first message from you today in today's chat. But if you want to squeeze in one last question before we go, you can copy and paste it back if you've already.
Makes me wonder if YouTube is filtering them out or something. So I wonder if the YouTube comment moderation is filtering them out. Yeah, because I see that last one, and same thing. If I scroll up, I don't see the earlier questions.
Yes, so I apologize. I wasn't intentionally skipping you. They just weren't showing up.
Weird.
Yeah. And then the final thing is our last YouTube video with Rachel, who is the print-on-demand queen. Bill interviewed her, and she gave us some very cool. She gave us a handful of prompts using Grok to come up with ideas for print-on-demand products. Really fun training. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. You got to go check it out.
Yeah, it's a great session about starting a print-on-demand business. So, which is probably the single easiest kind of e-commerce business that you can start. Do you think that's a fair statement, Nick? Print-on-demand, you think that's probably the easiest of all e-commerce?
I think I would say so, yeah.
So then in it, so Rachel, it goes into using AI. And as Nick said, it's a cool method to use Grok, which is a really fun AI to use anyway. So it's how to use Grok to come up with product ideas and launch your first print-on-demand store. So highly recommend you check that out. And Nick dropped that link in there. You'll see a YouTube video. I think it's under my name. So here, I'll restar this one. You won't be able to click it on screen, but oops, it's that right there. You'll see it in the chat window. Go click on that. Go watch that training video, and you'll learn all about that. And Rachel is my go-to person. If I have any questions about the print-on-demand business model, she is my go-to for answers and information. So it's definitely worth checking out what she's got to say. And with that, I think that's it. So Nick, thank you once again for your help today.
Of course.
Yeah. And with that, we'll wrap it up. So everybody, we'll see you next time. Bye for now. And I need to pick a commercial to end us off on. Which one shall I do? You know what? We'll do the presidents again. I like that one.
Okay, fine.
Is there another one that promotes the webinar?
I don't know. Okay, just do the president's one.
I'll do the president's, and then I may play one more after that. But
do playbooks. My favorite one.
I'll make sure. So I'll do that and a couple others. So I'll include the playbook. So everybody, go check out that YouTube video. It's got Rachel and I in there delivering some great training on print on demand, which is making cool physical products. You don't have to stock, no inventory, no expense. You just can get your store up and running. And it only costs you money when you make money. It's a pretty good business model. So go check that out. And with that, goodbye for now.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had push-button AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using push-button AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning. You wouldn't believe.
This push-button AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
Your first business doesn't have to be complicated. That's because we're at the start of the AI revolution. Before, it could take months to launch a profitable business and start cash flowing. Now you can do it in as little as one weekend. History is littered with people who've built empires by seizing the moment. They jumped in at ground zero before the door slammed shut. Imagine if you had bought Bitcoin in 2011. you'd be set for life. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, says, "We're at the dawn of a golden age of AI, and we've only begun to scratch the surface." Bezos made his billions riding the internet wave early. Now it's your turn to ride the AI tsunami to the bank. Thousands are about to cash in big time thanks to AI. But the burning question is, will you be one of them? Or will you be left in the dust? If you don't want to be left in the dust, then sign up for the Ingeniosity newsletter, where every week I'll hand you carefully researched blueprints that will help take your business from idea to income fast. Whether you're starting from scratch or looking to level up, each blueprint is designed to cut through the noise and deliver actionable steps you can implement immediately, and I would know. Because I've been able to generate over $100 million in total revenue across my online businesses over the years. You'll get my hard-won $100 million insights delivered to your inbox every Friday. And the best part? It's 100% free. Join over 5,000 other founders and business builders and get your roadmap to unstoppable growth with the help of AI. Just go to pushbutton.ai/subscribe.
Online businesses, I've discovered that it can be a confusing and overwhelming process. Luckily, I made it through all of that, and I've generated over $100 million in results across all of my companies over the years. But for many entrepreneurs, like you maybe, you might be facing uncertainty, overwhelm, confusion about what to do next to make profit online. Whether you're starting your first business or you might be trying to grow your existing business. And if you would like to get certainty, clarity, and your own roadmap to success, then I'm offering a special one-on-one consultation. This is a one-on-one success session. It is absolutely free. And the reason I'm offering this is because I've found that if you help people understand their roadmap and their path forward, that they'll do business with you when it makes sense. So by showing you and helping you get that clarity, get that certainty, and having your own roadmap to achieve success through online entrepreneurship, I know that if it's a right fit, that you'll do business with me in the future. So I'm willing to offer this totally free to join a member of my team and learn for yourself. And don't worry, there is no high pressure sales tactics here. This is just help to help you succeed. So instead of the high pressure sales, we're going to jump on with you one-on-one. We'll have an interview session to learn a little bit more about you and put together a specific program. We'll do a follow-up call and you'll be able to join one of my experts, and they're going to help you achieve the clarity that you desire so that you know what to do, so you can make the maximum amount of profits fast for your unique situation. In this session, you're going to uncover exactly what business and marketing strategies are going to unlock the profits that you're looking for. You're going to uncover the best lead generation strategies for existing business owners. So if you've got a business that you want to expand, we're going to cover how to do that. If you're a new business owner, we're going to cover how to start your first successful business. We're going to help you deal with any overwhelm, confusion, or uncertainty on what to do next, which I find for new entrepreneurs is vital. Then we're going to help you figure out what might have gone wrong in the past, because chances are you've probably tried a few things and you might be frustrated with what happened. So we're going to cover what went wrong from past marketing efforts so that you don't make those mistakes again. Then you're going to discover unique methods of affiliate marketing that are not possible anywhere else. Finally, we're going to uncover any issues you might be having with mindset and the way you're approaching and thinking about your business so that you can learn what is the optimum way to get productivity, to stay motivated, to not go into procrastination, and actually get things done in your business. And then, if our push-button business building tools are the right solution for you, we will do a personalized live demo for you, and we'll show you how our tools can help you. And if it's a good fit, awesome, we can do some business together. And if not, you come away from the session with some value, knowing exactly what you need to do next. And that helps me achieve my mission in life, which is to help as many entrepreneurs like you as possible. Claim your absolutely free success session by going to the link that you see on the screen below and find exactly how we can help you. And whether or not you choose to do business with me now or sometime in the future, or maybe we don't do business at all, I am happy to be able to help you in your journey as an entrepreneur. I look forward to hearing all about your session. We'll see you next time.